The Belgian Malinois carries an instinct so sharp that even the soldiers who work beside it every day struggle to fully understand it. This instinct is not taught, trained, or programmed, it is born deep within the dog long before it ever steps onto a battlefield. Soldiers trust the Malinois because it sees what they cannot. It senses what they overlook and reacts to what they have not yet recognized. This instinct is not something humans can replicate with equipment or training. It is woven into the dog's mind like a second awareness that never shuts off. The Malinois does not scan the world the way humans do. It reads the world as if every movement, breath, and vibration contains meaning. Even elite operators with years of combat experience admit they have seen the dog react to danger before the first sign appeared. They describe it as eerie, almost supernatural. But to the Malinois, it is simply instinct working at full capacity. Instinct sharpened through centuries of selective survival. This instinct begins long before a threat presents itself. It forms in the small, almost invisible shifts that ripple through an environment. A footstep that falls too softly. A breath held too long. A heartbeat that quickens out of sync with the rest. The Malinois senses these things not through logic but through awareness. Its body becomes a living instrument tuned to danger. Soldiers rely on this instinct because it works even when everything else fails. Night vision can malfunction, radios can die, and sensors can give false readings. But the Malinois does not depend on technology or conditions. Its precision comes from a deeper place, one that weather, darkness, or chaos cannot interrupt. Even in the pitch black, the dog knows when something is wrong. It doesn't wait for confirmation because it feels the threat forming before anything happens. This ability confuses soldiers because it does not follow human reasoning. The Malinois does not need evidence, it needs only a shift in energy. A soldier may see only an empty corridor, but the Malinois senses the tension barely noticeable to human perception. It stops, stares, and prepares to act. To the soldier, it looks like the dog is reacting to nothing. But moments later, the nothing becomes something very real. Some describe this instinct as a kind of emotional radar. It reads the emotional signatures of fear, aggression, and intention as clearly as humans read words. This sensitivity becomes a tool that no soldier can match. Humans see threat after it becomes visible. The Malinois sees threat in the space between thought and action. In the moment where danger has not yet taken form. That is why soldiers say the dog sees the pre-attack. It senses the decision before the movement. No amount of training can give a human access to that level of perception. The Malinois is built differently. Its eyes watch, but its instincts interpret. Its ears listen, but its mind analyzes. Every sound becomes information. Every silence becomes a signal. Even the smallest movement, a shift in a concealed hand, a tightening in the shoulders, triggers the dog's internal alarm system. The Malinois links these micro details to patterns it was born knowing. This instinct confuses soldiers because it makes the dog appear ahead of time itself. The Malinois is already reacting while soldiers are still searching for clues. The dog does not wait for visual confirmation, because waiting can cost lives. Its instinct moves faster than any conscious decision. Soldiers follow the dog even when they don't understand why. They follow because the dog has never failed them. They have seen the Malinois hesitate at a doorway moments before discovering an ambush. They have seen it tense before a distant threat revealed itself. They have witnessed the dog turn its head sharply toward a sound no human heard. And moments later, that sound became a danger. This happens so consistently that soldiers stop questioning the dog's intuition. They trust the instinct even if they cannot explain it. The instinct works because it is not based on logic or analysis. It is based on perception that exists beneath thought. Humans learn to sense danger through experience. The Malinois inherits it. Humans detect danger through conscious observation. The Malinois detects it through instinctive pattern recognition. This instinct is the result of centuries of breeding for protection, herding, and survival. The dog's ancestors lived or died based on their ability to predict danger before it appeared. That survival legacy never left the breed. It became stronger, sharper, and more precise. Modern Malinois carry this ancestral instinct as naturally as they breathe. Soldiers see only the results, not the thousands of years behind them. This instinct also confuses soldiers because it operates independently. The dog does not need permission or instruction. It reacts when the world changes, even slightly. It reacts before soldiers realize the world changed. The Malinois can sense the shift in human emotion faster than the expression appears. It can detect the start of fear before fear becomes visible. It can identify a hostile presence even when the person remains still. The dog reads intention through breath, heartbeat, and tension. These are signals soldiers cannot read because humans rely too heavily on what they see. The Malinois relies on what it feels. This instinct also affects how the dog moves during missions. The Malinois positions itself with purpose that confuses those who do not understand. It steps to the left because danger is forming on the left. It pauses because silence suddenly feels wrong. It stares at a shadow because something inside that shadow shifted. Soldiers cannot see the shift, but the dog can. This behavior looks like unpredictability to those who don't understand it. But soldiers who work long enough with the dog learn to follow its smallest cues. One ear twitch means attention. Two ear twitches mean suspicion. One deep inhale means confirmation. A rigid stance means threat. Soldiers begin to read the dog as the dog reads the environment. The instinct becomes a shared language. But even then, they still don't fully understand it. They understand only the results. The Malinois will always know more than they do. It will always react faster than they can. This is why elite handlers describe the dog as half warrior, half shadow. Something seen, something unseen. The Malinois operates between the lines soldiers cannot cross. It hears in the space between sound and silence. It sees in the gap between movement and stillness. It feels in the pause between thought and action. This instinct becomes clearest during high-risk combat scenarios. When adrenaline rises, soldiers feel their senses sharpen. The Malinois senses sharpen far beyond that. Its awareness becomes razor-thin. It reads the tension in the air as if the environment itself is telling a story. It knows when a threat is close, even when nothing appears dangerous. This ability becomes the difference between life and death. Soldiers learn to trust the dog more than the devices strapped to their gear. A sensor detects the presence of metal. A Malinois detects the presence of intention. A drone sees movement. A Malinois feels danger. A soldier might sense something is wrong. A Malinois knows something is wrong. This instinct also influences the dog's loyalty. The deeper the bond with its handler, the sharper its instinct becomes. The Malinois connects emotionally to the soldier it works with. This connection amplifies its awareness. It senses the handler's stress and reacts to it. It feels the handler's doubt and compensates. This emotional connection confuses soldiers because the dog responds to their internal state, not just external threats. When a soldier's confidence shifts, the Malinois adjusts its stance. When a soldier's fear rises, the dog becomes more protective. When a soldier hesitates, the dog becomes more alert. This is instinct wrapped in empathy. Soldiers cannot fully understand it because humans do not operate at that level of emotional detection. The dog understands the soldier better than the soldier understands himself. It reacts not only to danger but to emotional shifts that predict danger. This instinct is why the Malinois can pull a handler back before danger unfolds. It feels something wrong in the environment and acts decisively. The soldier sees only the behavior, not the invisible signals that triggered it. The dog sees the signal clearly. This instinct also explains why the Malinois seems fearless. The dog does not fear the unknown because it senses the unknown before it becomes dangerous. Fear comes from uncertainty. The Malinois removes uncertainty through instinct. In moments where humans hesitate, the dog acts. It acts because it trusts its perception more than humans trust theirs. This trust in instinct confuses soldiers because humans are taught to analyze. The Malinois is taught to feel. Feeling becomes action, and action becomes survival. Soldiers depend on this cycle, even without fully understanding it. This instinct has saved countless lives. Soldiers know this but cannot explain how the dog knew what it knew. They only know the dog moved, and because of that movement, they remained alive. They only know the dog reacted, and because of that reaction, disaster was avoided. Some soldiers say the dog sees ghosts of danger before the danger arrives. Others say the dog hears thoughts instead of sounds. But what the Malinois truly sees are patterns humans cannot interpret. What it hears are signals humans cannot detect. What it senses is danger itself, not the evidence of danger. This is why soldiers trust it even when they do not understand it. Technology tries to detect what is already happening. The Malinois detects what is about to happen. Its instinct lives in the future, one step ahead of every soldier it protects. This instinct is the reason the Malinois has become legendary. And it is the reason even the bravest soldiers admit they do not fully understand the mind of this extraordinary dog.